When we talk about rebuilding our health, getting stronger, feeling our best, it can get overwhelming, right? There's so much out there. But what if I told you there's one single material that's more important than anything else? Let's get right into it and unlock this thing. So just think about it for a second. If your body is like a house that's always under construction, always needing repairs, what's the one thing you absolutely can't run out of? The bricks? The mortar? The actual foundation? Well, the answer is simple. It's powerful, and it's been around forever. It's protein.
I mean, it is almost impossible to overstate how important this stuff is. A whopping 95% of your cell structure is built from protein. We're not just talking about muscles here, we're talking about, well, everything. Without a good steady supply, your body just can't fix itself or create new healthy cells. Simple as that.
And get this, even the name itself tells a story. It comes from the ancient Greek word protos, which literally means takes first place. They knew way back then that this stuff was priority number one. Okay, so what is it really? On a chemical level, it's basically a special compound that gives us the key building materials for life. And those materials have a name you've probably heard: amino acids. That term right there, amino acids, that's our first clue to figuring out how this all works. So, we've got protein as the foundation, but what in the world are these amino acids it's made of? Well, they have a nickname that's just perfect. This is honestly the best way to think about them. If protein is the whole house, then amino acids are the individual bricks, the wooden geams, the pipes, everything. They are the fundamental little pieces that your body uses to build whatever it needs. And nature gives us a whole hardware store full of these different blocks for a very good reason. There are dozens of types, and your body needs the whole set. Yeah, sure, sometimes it can create one type from another, but why would you want to put that kind of extra strain on a system that's already working hard? Supplying a whole protein with all its parts is absolutely crucial. And this is exactly why that's so important. Different parts of your body have totally different jobs, so they're built from different stuff. Your brain cells, for instance, they crave a massive supply of one specific amino acid called glutamic acid. But your muscle cells, they need a completely different mix. Your body is like this master builder, and it goes into the supply you give it and picks out the exact blocks it needs for the job. Okay, so we've got the building blocks, the amino acids, but a pile of bricks doesn't just turn into a house by itself, right? There's something else going on here, a kind of hidden spark inside the protein that actually makes everything happen. It's the enzyme. This is the life force. This is the construction worker that takes those amino acid bricks and actually builds the house. Without enzymes, protein is just a pile of useless raw materials. So just how critical are we talking? Well, enzymes aren't just a part of life, they are a requirement for it. Every single living cell in the universe, from a tiny blade of grass to you, has enzymes. Without them, you literally cannot make new cells. And right here's the problem in our story. We desperately need these delicate, life-giving enzymes, but our modern way of making food, cooking it, processing it, refining it, it's all designed for taste and convenience. And in the process, we are waging a full-on war against the very enzymes we need to live. Now, this sounds super technical, I know, but the message is actually devastatingly simple. What it's saying is when you change the structure of a protein, which is exactly what happens when you cook it, you completely destroy the enzyme's ability to work. The life force is just gone. And this is the number that just changes everything. 130 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 54 Celsius. That's it. That is so far below boiling. But think about it. Almost every way we cook, baking, frying, grilling, it goes way past that temperature. And in doing so, it just wipes out the enzymes in our food. If you want to see this in action, there's a really powerful and simple experiment that proves it. It's a perfect demonstration. You just take a bunch of seeds, split them in two, boil one half for just 1 minute, and then plant both sets.
The result couldn't be more clear. It's life versus death. The raw seeds, with all their enzymes still intact, they explode with life, they grow, and the heated seeds? Nothing. They just rot in the ground. That single minute of heat completely destroyed the spark of life inside them. So this all sounds pretty bad, doesn't it? I mean, if cooking destroys this essential life force in our food, how are any of us even functioning? How do we possibly get the enzymes we need to survive?
Well, here's the good news. Our bodies are incredibly resilient. We actually have our own little enzyme factories running 24/7. But, and this is a big but, to keep those factories running, our body needs a constant supply of high-quality raw materials, which, you guessed it, have to come from our food.
And where do we find these raw materials? Well, we find them in food that is still alive. Food whose enzymes haven't been blasted away by heat. We're talking raw fruits, raw vegetables. They are packed with the unaltered building blocks your body is crying out for. This is why getting some raw, living food into your diet every single day isn't just a good idea. It is absolutely imperative.
And this is the part that ties it all together. When you eat cooked food, say a steak or some beans, your body needs to break it down. To do that job, it needs its own enzymes, and it has to build them from something. Those living nutrients in raw foods, like a simple salad you eat with your meal, provide the high-quality materials your body needs to make those enzymes, which in turn helps you digest everything else.
So the next time you sit down to eat, just look at your plate and ask yourself this one simple question. Are you just putting fuel in the tank? Or are you also supplying that spark of life? Are you giving your body not just the building blocks, but also the tools it needs to actually build a healthier you? The choice, as they say, is yours.